So clockwise is simple enough. You're going to deal 4 cards to each player. They're going to look through the cards and decide to keep one and then pass the rest to their left. Everybody's doing that simultaneously, so they're going to pass their cards to the left. So I'm going to take these cards and then I'm going to choose one out of these 3. I had a 10. Oh, look at this, another 10. Oh, heck yeah, I'm going to keep that in my collection and pass the rest to my left. And then you're just going to continue doing that until everybody has 4 cards. Viper. Viper is a snake draft. So first player would simply choose a card. They keep that, and then it moves on to the next player. Let's say this, they take that card, and then the next player takes a card, but then it reverse orders because that is a snake draft. So they took a 3, so they're going to take another 3 here. This person says, you know what, I'm going to take this card, and then it comes to me. I take a card, and then it reverses again. I take another card, and it continues on that way until everybody has 4 cards. Downdraft. Downdraft is simple. You're going to put out 4 cards for each row of people that you have. So if this was a 3-player game, we have 3 rows of 4. Then, on your turn, the first player can either choose a row of cards and be done with it, or they can shift a row down, a column down. So let's say I wanted to shift this card down. So I would just do this. The very last card would come on up here. So you notice that now I have a 2, 2, and a 2. Unfortunately, the next player's turn, they can just take all of these 2s and go. So you got to have a little strategy there. But that's how you play. You just keep shifting things down, or you take a row. Penny Lane. In Penny Lane, you're going to deal 2 cards to each player. So let us say we had a 4-player game. You're dealing 2 cards to each player, and each player then will look at those 2 cards. They're going to choose one to put immediately into their collection, and then the other one will go face up in the middle. So let's say that all of these players have chosen this card to be in their collection and this card to be in the middle. You then repeat that process. You're going to, once again, deal 2 cards to each player, and they're going to look at those, choose one for their collection, flip the other one into the middle, and then, starting with player 1, they're going to draft the card that they want. So they probably would look at their collection and realize, I need this card. And then this person may choose this, and then this, and say this, and then it continues on. First player once again, and everyone now will have 4 cards. And that's Penny Lane. Pass the trash. So in Pass the Trash, what you're going to do is you're going to count out 4 cards for every player. So let us say that we had 4 players playing. We would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards. Because we have 4 cards for every player. We have 4 players, so 16. And with Pass the Trash, first player will be the dealer and will offer this to the next player. Do you want this card? Let's say this person said yes. They then keep it face up in their tableau. The next player then gets offered a card. Do you want this card? They say no. So he passes. It goes to this player. Would you like this card? And he says no. So it passes again. I do not have an option because it can go pass, pass, and the third player must take it. So I am with this card. Then it comes back to this guy. Do you want this card? He says no. This person says yes, because he might have something in his collection that he wants. So it comes to here. He says no. I'm going to say yes because I want the matching 2s, of course. This person has a 7. He says no. He says no. This person has to take it because it is pass, pass, and then trash. right? So I say no, this person says no, this person says I have to take it. So he says no, I say no, this person has to take it. This person says, oh yes, of course I want that. This person says, oh, of course I want that. I comes to me, I don't want it. This person says, yes, I want that. He says no, no, I'm going to get it. This person says, yes, I want that. This person says no. This person says no, so I'm going to get it. Now I have 4 cards, so I can no longer get any more cards. This player here can no longer get any more cards. So it comes down to this. Do you want this card? He says yes. So now the last 2 cards will be dealt face up to this player. That's how you play pass the trash. You pass, you can pass, and then you got to trash it by giving it to that person. Colorado. Now, Colorado is going to have a similar drafting style than a game that's out there. It is basically this. You're going to have 4 cards for every player. So let's say we have 4 players playing. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to put the rest of the cards off to the side, and we are going to make this a nice stack. The first player is going to flip over one of these cards, and they're going to make a row. So I'm going to put this right there. This is my row. The next player then will flip over a card, or he can take a row. Well, I doubt if you just want to take one card. So they're going to flip over. Let's say this 7 was not useful. He doesn't want it with the 3, so he makes a new row. Our third player flips this over, and he puts the 7 with the other 7 to make it tempting for other players to grab. Because you can grab a row instead of flipping over a card. However, this next player, he doesn't, oh, that's me. So he doesn't want to just take 2 cards and shortchange. So he's going to go ahead and pick a card. He makes another row. It's this player's turn. He flips a card, and because he wants to make this super tempting, we now have a 9 and a 7 of the same color and a 7 and a 7. And this player has decided, yeah, that's too much. I have the 8 and I have some other 7s, so he's going to go ahead and take this. So he's not going to flip this. He's just going to take these cards, and that's it. He no longer is participating in this draft. He has changed himself a bit, but that's okay. He really wanted those cards. So the next player is going to go, and he can either put this here, or he can start that 4th row. And since we have room, we might as well just go right here. But no more rows now can be made since 4 have been made. And so it's going to continue this way. Let's just continue by doing this until there are no more cards left. So let's say that it goes to 4. You can continue putting more cards here if you wish. Now, if I take this row, I'm going to get that bonus extra card. And one of these rows will be short a card. And that's so tempting. I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to take that. So it's going to continue on. This person's going to put something here. Maybe they're going to say, okay, I might as well put that here. And then the last card comes. I wouldn't want to put it here because I know the other guy's going to take it. So I might as well put it there. The next person has to take a row. So they take this. This person takes that. And that's basics with Colorado. Pyramids. So in pyramids, you want to count out how many cards you're going to be using. Let's say it was a 3-player game. You would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you would build pyramids. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these cards and you're just simply going to create a pyramid like this. So there's one pyramid of 6 cards, and then what you're going to do is you're going to build a second one. Now this is for 3 players. because now we have 4 cards for each player. That's 12. We have 12 cards out here. 6 cards for this pyramid, 6 cards for this pyramid. Now what's going to happen is the first player is going to be able to take any card that is available. These cards that have cards on top of it are not available. So my choices are the 3, the 7, the 5, or this 7 over here, because these other cards are underneath. So let's say I take this 7, put that in my collection. Our next player then can have this card, this card, this card, and these 2 cards, which now have become available. So let's say they decide, I'm going to take this 7 because they know I took a 7 and they're playing defensive. I suppose you could do that. This does not make these cards available. The next player has 1, 2, 3, 4 choices, and let's say they go with this card. Our next player then has this, this, and this has become available, and this. So you're going to go ahead and just whittle that down until everybody has had their chance to take 4 cards. There you go. Now I'm going to show you real fast that if you are playing with more people, if it's a 4-player game and you have 16, what you would do is you would have 4 more cards to use, and you would just simply build this pyramid like that. This is 10 cards, and we have 6 cards left over, and we already saw what that looks like. It looks like this. So you will notice that I built this differently, upside down style, because we don't want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 choices. We want to have just the top choice of the pyramid and the bottom on the other pyramid. If you're playing with 5 players, you would use 20 cards, and that would be 10 and another 10 over here for 20 cards. So that's how you play pyramids. The button draft. In the button draft, what you're going to do is you're going to deal out 4 cards for every player. So let's say there are 4 players. We would then have 16 cards. If there were 3 players, 12 cards, you get the idea. And then you're going to make a circle. You're going to go ahead and put these into a large circle. And starting with player number 1, they're going to choose any card that they want. So let's say they decide, you know what, I want this purple 5. They're going to put the marker then right here, take their card, and put it into their collection. The next player then, starting where the player marker is, can choose 1, 2, or 3 away from the marker. So they have the 8, 9, or the 2. Let's say they go with the 9. So they put that. Our next player in a 4-player game is going to go 2, 9, 1. Let's say they go with the 9. Then that moves over here, and play is going to continue like that, where you're allowed to choose 1, 2, or 3 away from the marker. Once everybody has 4 cards, this will be depleted, and the round is over. Pay to play. So in pay to play, you're going to count out how many cards you need. It's 4 cards per player. Let's say this is a 4-player game, so I would have 16 cards. And with pay to play, you're just simply going to be paying in points what card you want. The first one is free. The second one is 1 point. There's 2 points. And then finally, 3 points for the card on top. So first player will get its choice. Now here on the pay to play, you will see that it says 0, 1, 2, 3. So it kind of lets you know this card's free. And I look at my stuff in my collection. Let's say I have a 5 and I want this 5. I go ahead and take the 5, and this will then be deducted off the scoreboard 1 point immediately. So you go ahead and do the score right now where I paid 1 point for this card, and it's my card. So this then moves over, this one moves over, and this becomes the new 3. This player here decides, I'm just going to take the free card. This then moves over, and this becomes the next 3. And that's going to continue on until everyone has paid their points and done their thing. And let's say it gets down to the last few cards. And when you have the last few cards, what's going to happen is you're just simply going to have, let's say it's my turn to choose. I decide I'm going to take the free card. This then becomes free. 1, 2, and there is no more 3. This person might decide I'm going to pay for the 1. They'll deduct 1 point. This becomes the free, and this becomes the new 1. This person decides I'm going to buy that one for 1. This is then the free, and that's the last card. And that is how you do pay to play. Roman auction. In Roman auction, you need 4 cards for every player. So you count those out. Let's say in a 4-player game, I would have 16 cards. In a 3-player game, I would have 12 cards. You get the idea. And what's going to happen is you're going to make some rows. The first row you make will be 3. The next row you make will be a row of 4. Now, in a 4-player game, you would have a row of 4 again, and then finally, you would have a row of 5. Now, if it was a 3-player game, you would eliminate one of the rows of 4, and you would have 3, 4, and 5. In a 5-player game, you would add another row of 4. There's going to be 3 on the top, 5 in the bottom, and 4 always in the middle. Then you're just simply having the first player, they're going to bid on a row that they want. So when they bid on the row that they want, they're simply going to offer points from their scoreboard. So if I decide that this is the row that I wish to have, and I say I'm going to offer 2 of my points, then the next player here to my left will be able to outbid me by saying 3 or higher points. If they say 3, then I'm no longer winning this bid. They are. The next player then can outbid that player. If they do not want it and they say, I am out, I will not bid on this, pass, then they are out for the rest of the bidding on this row. Let's say this player also passes. They are out for the bidding on this row. It comes back to me and I decide to go ahead and say 4 points. Well, this player doesn't want to give up more than 4 points for this row, so he says pass. Since everyone else has passed, I will win this row, and then I deduct the 4 points off of my scoreboard. Now, I am out for the rest of the draft, so I cannot bid or outbid anybody else. The then bid goes to the next player. Whoever won the bid, it goes to the next player. And he decides that he wants the 5. Now, he can simply bid 2 or 3 points, and the next player can outbid him or not. Whoever gets this will get an extra card, and then whoever gets this will have a card less. So let's say this person bids 5, this person then says 6, this person says he's out. It is now between just the 5 and the 6. This person may say 7 because he has reasons. And so this person is out. So we're going to deduct 7 points because that player has won this bid. This then player can either go with the 3 or the 4. And so let us say that they decide to go with this. And they say, I'll bid 2. This player decides, I don't even want it for 2. There's nothing good there for me. So this player then will deduct 2 points off of their score, and the last player who gets the 3rd row, just a card of 3, they do not have to make any bid whatsoever on the row of 3. However, if this player decided that he wanted this row, he can say, I'm going to claim this, but he would have to offer a bid on this row. So if he bids 1, this player can outbid him if he wishes. And let's say he decides, I'm not going to. Well, this player then wins this for 1. Now, because this is not the row of 3, he cannot take the last row for free. You can only take the row of 3 for free. So he has to do a minimum bid of at least 2. Your starting bid has to be 2, unless, of course, it is for that row of 3. That you can actually win for free if no one else has bid on it. So there you go. That is how you play Roman auction. Stacks is you're going to make cards of 4 into a column, and depending on how many players you have, you're going to have that many stacks. So let's say there was 4 people playing. We now have our stacks. The first player can choose whatever card is available to him, and it is the card that is not underneath. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different cards to choose from. Let's say I choose this one. The next player now has 1, 2, 3, 4 different cards to choose from. So they choose this. And then our next player chooses here, and we still have all of these things that are available. It comes back to me, and I'm like, oh great, a 6, because I wanted that. And then this person says, oh, I wanted this one. And this person says, I wanted this one. And this person says, I wanted this one. Now, we still have 1, 2, 3 cards available because one of the stacks is gone. And you're just going to continue doing that until everybody has 4 cards in their hand. Updraft. In updraft, you're going to make rows of 4 depending on how many people that you have playing. So if we had a 3-player game, we would have 3 rows of 4. First player, what they're going to do is they're going to either take a row or they can flip over a card. Once they flip over the card, it is the next player's turn. And they can either take a row with not knowing what these cards are, or they can flip over a card. Now you can flip over a card in any row that you want as long as there is a card to flip over. So it would be player number 3. So player number 3 decides they like this 2. Ooh, another 2. So they're very tempted to get that because they might have a 2. It is now the first player again. And he decides, I'm just going to take these, not knowing what these are. So they're going to put those into their collection. And it comes to the next player. He can either choose a row or continue to flip over cards. Once all cards are flipped, then you're going to take the row.